Welcome to WNBA Game Time, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods.
Caitlin Clark said, I'm done with the WNBA. Where would the WNBA be? It'll be over.
I would seriously consider going to play overseas somewhere and get the royal treatment and get real money. I think that there's a petty jealousy.
Caitlin Clark, she leave the WNBA and go overseas.
She's a straight white basketball player, and she is not being treated with any sort of respect whatsoever.
Caitlin Clark, she was kneed, pinched, took a fist to the throat, and then an attempt to stomp on her. Okay, so that's not basketball. That's a targeted assault.
So why do the players hate her? Is it because she's white? Is it because she's straight? Is it because she's white and straight in a league that is predominantly black and gay and super woke?
Imagine a reality where the most influential athlete in a sport suddenly decides she has simply had enough. The stadiums are packed, the television ratings are shattering records, and billions of dollars are flowing into a league that historically struggled for mainstream attention. Yet the woman at the center of this cultural gold rush is subjected to targeted physical hostility on the court and erased from promotional history of it. It sounds like a hyperdramatic sports film, but right now it is the volatile reality surrounding WNBA phenom Caitlin Clark. Media insiders, former athletes, and a massive contingent of frustrated fans are no longer just defending her. They are beginning to ask a terrifying question the league never anticipated. What if Caitlin Clark eventually packs her bags and walks away? Welcome back to the channel, where we dissect the deepest layers of sports history, cultural phenomena, and the untold economics behind the games you love.
Caitlin Clark has decided to quit the WNBA and move on and go play over in Europe. I do not blame her. I applaud it. I say do it. Get as far away from the WNBA as you can. Let that league sink. Okay? Do not help them. Caitlin, get away. I believe you could create your own league. Okay? You could be the fucking player that creates whatever, the next professional women's basketball league. Let this one just go and let Caitlin try to build the next.
Disconnect has emerged between Clark's immense economic value and how she is treated by the institution she is salvaging. This simmering frustration boiled over into an absolute inferno when the WNBA unveiled its official 30th anniversary promotional poster. The graphic was meant to celebrate the league's history, its transcendent stars, and the icons shaping its future. But when fans scanned the image, they noticed a glaring omission. Caitlin Clark, the very player pulling in double the television ratings of the reigning league MVP and three-time champions, was nowhere to be found. Instead, college stars who haven't played a full professional season and rivals with a fraction of her viewership were prominently displayed. To many, this was not an oversight. It was a symptom of a deeply insular, paranoid culture within the sport. The underlying narrative began to spread like wildfire across sports media, the idea that a petty, systemic jealousy is actively working to suppress a player simply because she does not fit the traditional demographic of the league. Critics argue that as a straight, white athlete entering a predominantly black and progressive space, Clark has been handed a target rather than a crown. The omission from the poster felt like a deliberate corporate snub, a sign that the establishment wanted her revenue, but not her face. And the hostility is not just confined to graphic design. Just days after the poster controversy, the tension turned dangerously physical on the court during a high-stakes matchup against the Phoenix Mercury. In the middle of the game, veteran player Alyssa Thomas delivered a vicious, non-basketball blow, thrusting her forearm and fist directly into Clark's throat, followed by a physical sequence that many commentators openly described as a targeted assault rather than an athletic play. The response from the officials on the floor was total silence. No immediate whistle, no flagrant call, nothing. Play simply continued as if the league's most valuable asset had not just taken a hazardous blow to the neck. It was only after a massive public outcry and an extensive post-game review that the league office was forced into a reactive position, retroactively upgrading the play to a flagrant foul 2 and issuing a meager one-game suspension. For millions of fans, this one-game suspension was an insulting slap on the wrist that exposed a much larger problem. When Michael Jordan was targeted by the physical brutality of the Detroit Pistons in the late 1980s, the NBA corporate office fundamentally altered the rules of the game to protect their star, understanding that if Jordan was injured, the entire league's revenue would collapse. In contrast, the WNBA has appeared agonizingly slow to protect the woman responsible for their newfound wealth. This brings us to a critical turning point in this sports saga, and I want to pause and put the ball in your court. If you believe the league needs to do drastically more to protect and appreciate what this generational talent has done for women's basketball, take a quick second to hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you never miss a deep dive update, and type CC22100% in the comments right now. Do you think the current backlash against the league's establishment is entirely justified, or are critics blowing these on-court incidents out of proportion?
I've decided to retire. I only clapped my hands, yet I was called for a technical foul and even fined $1,000. This is unfair. My presence has sent the league's attendance and viewership soaring. This league operates at a loss and can barely stay afloat, relying on charitable donations. Yet it pushes out the player who pulled it through its toughest times. I've grown accustomed to this biased treatment all season long. Last time the ball rolled to my feet, I bent down to pick it up and hand it back to the referee. What happened? Another technical foul, with the official claiming I was delaying the game. That makes no sense at all. Meanwhile, when Alyssa Thomas drove her fist straight into my throat, the referee stood merely 3 feet away, watched the entire incident unfold, and did not blow a single whistle to call a foul. I've been playing through persistent back injuries this whole time. Being listed as a game time decision ahead of tip-off has practically become my norm. Even so, I gritted my teeth and fought through every single game. Now, I cannot even guarantee my own personal safety on the court. This league has never cared to protect its players. If I cannot even receive basic respect here, I have no reason left to stay.
So Caitlin Clark has officially announced on her Instagram that she won't be returning for the rest of this season, man. Super sucks to hear that news, man. Clark, hope you feel better. Hopefully all this time off gives you a chance to get really healthy to come back for the 2026 season, man. Damn, man. It's just been so whack without Clark playing. This season for the Fever has just been diabolical, man. Chloe Bibby out for the rest of the season too. Like, the injury stuff is crazy, man. You know, I guess the Fever could still possibly make the playoffs, man. But it's like, it just wouldn't feel right without Clark in the playoff run. But, you know, I guess whatever. The Fever team that's out there, let's see what they could do if they happen to make the playoffs. But, man, Clark, we miss you out on the court. Man, this is supposed to be your MVP season. We were supposed to be just dominating the league and taking over and, you know, propelling you even more, you know, into greatness, man. But this season just didn't have those kind of plans. So hopefully next season, 2026, it'll be wonderful for Clark. She'll feel a lot better, get back out there, raining them threes and throwing them assists, man. Clark, we love you. Feel better. Thank you for letting us know and keeping it real, man. Still CC gang, Fever gang, everybody.
So I want to try and figure out how serious this back injury is. So reports are saying Caitlin Clark is out indefinitely with a back injury. She's going to miss tomorrow night's game against the LA Sparks. And without Kelsey Plum, the LA Sparks, they kind of suck right now. So I mean, if there was ever a game to sit out, it's probably this one. Now I don't know if you got to see this, but here's the video of her leaving the Mercury game with the back injury. She's going back to the locker room. Now they probably would have won this game had she not left. But I'm not saying she's faking because I don't have enough evidence for that. But what I will say is the timing is a bit convenient because remember back in May when the Indiana Fever got in trouble, they got a warning because Caitlin wasn't on the injury report and they waited till an hour before the game started to say she wasn't playing because of her back. Because then she came back 2 days later, dropped 22 points on the Valkyries and got the win. And her back looked just fine. Listen, I'm just trying to get to the source of all the injuries because when she was at Iowa, she never missed a game. She was Iron Man, Iron Woman. And then in her rookie season, she didn't miss a game either. And she played in the playoffs. And I would argue her rookie season was way more physical. But last season, she only played 13 games. And a lot of us, some of her fans included, thought that she probably could have made it back during that playoff run. But I'm gonna say this, if in fact her back is actually injured, you gotta see a specialist. You gotta get that shit figured out now. Otherwise, your career is gonna be really fucking short. Because if y'all remember, Steve Nash technically retired because of his back. Back injuries are nothing to play with, so you better not be faking.
This will be the last time I ever play in the WNBA. They have completely trampled my dignity, especially when I heard the referees wanted to suspend me. I completely broke down emotionally. Thomas punched me in the throat on the court, drove her knee hard into me, and then stepped right over me like I was trash. The 3 referees were standing so close, yet they acted like they were blind and saw nothing. It wasn't until my back injury flared up again and I was forced to leave the game that the league suddenly remembered to add a flagrant foul after the game. What's the point of that? In this league, I don't get even the most basic protection. The WNBA 30th anniversary poster doesn't have any place for me at all. That suffocating feeling of being isolated and targeted by everyone is really crushing me. I gave everything I had to bring unprecedented attention to this league. I filled every arena for them, but all I got in return was narrow-minded jealousy in the locker room and dirty plays with no bottom line on the court. I really can't stay in a place where I have absolutely no sense of safety.
The WNBA ratings' worst nightmare just came true because it was just announced that Caitlin Clark will be out for the rest of the season. She's only played 13 games this season, and her most recent injury, which happened back in July, was a groin injury. The craziest part about all of this has been the reporting around her injury. The team has never given her a timetable for return. And literally up until today, the team had been reporting that she was still trying to get back on the court this season. The Fever only have 3 regular season games left in the season before playoffs. Some fans were even speculating that they've just been stringing fans along the whole time because they know that ratings and attendance would drop once they announced that she's out, which is also so ironic that they announced it the day that football season starts. Anyway, this is not only a huge blow for the Fever, but also for the entire WNBA. Caitlin was out with an injury back in June. Viewership dropped over 50% across the league. That's the kind of effect that she has on things. And it seems like from her post and how they announced it, Caitlin was the one that was trying so hard to get back on the court. She has traveled to every single away game. She's always meeting with fans, taking photos, signing autographs, doing all of the things because she knows how many people come out specifically to see her. But I'm really interested to see what viewership and attendance looks like now that it's official that she's done. The hope is gone. Sending my best to Caitlin. I have no doubts that she will be back stronger than ever, hopefully next season.
So Caitlin Clark has been ruled out for the rest of the season. And I just wanted to gauge if we're conspiracy theorists on this app or not. She put out a statement, and the GM put out a statement, and a bunch of people put out statements, but it doesn't really mention her groin. So theoretically, if someone was a conspiracy theorist or believed something other than a groin injury, what would that be? What do we think she'd be out for?
Breaking news. There's a lot of concern that the attacks on Caitlin Clark that we're seeing in the WNBA finals are race motivated. Let me ask you something. Why is it that the people who are bringing up that this is race motivated are the people who are always complaining about people playing the race card? Why? Why? Could race have something to do with it? Yeah. When you look at it, does it seem like it's clearly race-based? No. Why? Because she's really good, really aggressive, and kind of annoying to her opposition. And she's a little bit of a flopper. And I grew up playing ball, never being the person targeted because I was never good enough to be targeted. But I did target some people. And she checks all the boxes of who you would fuck with and try to hurt in a game. Why? She's really good. And she's getting better, by the way, which is amazing. And she is key to that team's success. And she's kind of annoying, and she's looking to mix it up. So she checks a lot of boxes. And yeah, I think it's crazy for the league to allow her to be roughed up. She's a huge selling point in the league. Huge. And look, did they give Michael Jordan protections? Yeah, I would have liked to see a little bit of that for Jalen Brunson, by the way. Certainly Steph Curry gets that kind of protection too. You don't rough up the stars. It's why we protect quarterbacks. So I do think the WNBA has to review what it's doing there because it seems a little stupid for their own franchise. But it's a really competitive game, and I don't see it as beat up on the white chick. I don't think it's as simple as that. It's naive to say that race isn't at play every time you have mixed race situations. There's something explicit or implicit. I'm not naive. But I don't think that that's what this story should be about, especially being driven by the people who come at others for playing the race card. You're not forcing it here.